Ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about a machine that looks like a spaceship, drives like a rolling apartment, and confuses people at gas stations even now in 2026. The 1966 Ultravan Motorhome was not just another RV from the golden age of American road travel. No, this thing looked like NASA engineers got tired of rockets and decided to build a camper after 3 cups of diner coffee and a heated argument about aerodynamics. Back in the 1960s, most motorhomes looked like somebody glued a garden shed onto a truck chassis. And before we continue, subscribe to the channel because somewhere out there my neighbor Bob is still convinced these old motorhomes were secretly designed by aliens. The story of the Ultravan began with aircraft designer Dave Peterson. The man worked in aviation, and that background completely changed the philosophy behind the vehicle. In 1960, he introduced the original Ultravan concept, using lightweight aircraft-style construction and aerodynamic ideas rarely seen in recreational vehicles of the era. America was obsessed with the open road during the 1960s. Families wanted comfort, freedom, and enough living space to avoid strangling each other during long vacations through Nevada deserts and roadside tourist traps selling giant fiberglass dinosaurs. Peterson originally built several examples through a technical school apprentice program. Eventually, the production rights were sold to John Tillerson, a Kansas publisher who founded Ultra Incorporated in 1965 while keeping Peterson involved as a consultant. Between 1966 and 1970, only around 346 Ultravans were produced, making them extremely rare today. Many disappeared over decades of neglect, bad repairs, rust, or owners who probably believed maintenance meant kicking the tires aggressively before a road trip. The Ultravan stood out because it rejected traditional truck-based RV construction. Instead, it used monocoque engineering with molded fiberglass front and rear sections combined with riveted aluminum panels and C-shaped aluminum center ribs. That sounds technical because it absolutely was. This was aircraft thinking applied to camping culture. The wraparound windshield panels even came from Chevrolet step vans of the period, creating that unmistakable panoramic front view. The design reduced weight dramatically compared to conventional motorhomes, improving fuel economy and road manners. The specific 1966 example discussed here became especially famous because of a refurbishment lasting more than 15 years after being purchased. That restoration included replacement exterior aluminum panels and a modern solar panel installation across the roof. The owner clearly believed patience was important. Technically, the Ultravan was fascinating. Power came from a rear-mounted Chevrolet Corvair-derived 3-liter flat-six engine equipped with electronic fuel injection in this upgraded example. The engine sent power to the rear wheels through a 2-speed Powerglide automatic transmission. Yes, 2 speeds. The lightweight body helped compensate for limited horsepower, allowing respectable cruising ability for a vehicle measuring approximately 22 feet long, or around 7 meters. The suspension setup was advanced for its time. Air suspension combined with Rytec shocks helped smooth out road imperfections. 4-wheel disc brakes provided stronger stopping power than many original systems from the era. 15-inch American racing wheels gave the motorhome a slightly custom appearance without ruining its classic personality. The monocoque chassis construction also improved rigidity, while lowering overall weight, a major advantage over bulky truck-framed competitors. Inside, the vehicle blended vintage character with upgraded convenience. The refreshed cabin included a dinette, galley kitchen, bathroom, and sleeping quarters. Bombs racing seats and a Momo steering wheel modernized the cockpit, while a Pioneer touchscreen connected to kicker speakers added modern entertainment. Honestly, hearing classic rock through upgraded speakers inside a 1960s futuristic camper sounds like peak American road trip culture. The vehicle also featured an air conditioner, propane system, utility hookups, water heater, and holding tanks for fresh, grey and black water. Even the plumbing system became surprisingly sophisticated thanks to remote-controlled dump valves and a macerator pump. The roof-mounted solar system used 19 panels, giving the Ultra-van impressive off-grid capability decades after its original production. The only drawback mentioned by the seller was a cracked windshield section and an aging lithium battery requiring replacement. Still, for a vehicle approaching 60 years old, that is remarkably minor. The philosophy behind the 1966 Ultravan motorhome was radically different from most recreational vehicles of its era. Dave Peterson approached the project like an aircraft engineer rather than a traditional automotive designer. The low-slung body, rounded nose, smooth aluminum skin, and lightweight structure were all focused on efficiency and stability. Standing beside one today still feels futuristic. Inside, the layout emphasized comfort without unnecessary bulk. Large wraparound windows flooded the cabin with natural light, creating an open atmosphere rarely found in 1960s motorhomes. Owners often describe the experience as closer to piloting a small aircraft than driving a camper. Even the elevated seating position added to the feeling. Timmy once sat inside one at a classic RV gathering and whispered, "I feel like I should be invading Mars." Then he spilled beer on his own boots and walked into a folding chair. Humanity remains beautifully balanced. Compared with other motorhomes of the 1960s, the Ultravan occupied a strange but brilliant corner of the market. Traditional RVs from companies like Winnebago prioritized size and straightforward truck-based construction. They were practical, easy to repair, and about as aerodynamic as a city bus carrying refrigerators. The Ultravan instead targeted adventurous buyers who wanted innovation and engineering sophistication. Its lighter construction improved fuel economy, handling, and ride quality, though repairs could become complicated because of the unique structure and specialized components. Collectors today view surviving Ultravans almost like rolling aviation artifacts. Enthusiasts appreciate the unusual engineering, while vintage RV fans admire the unmistakable styling. At auctions and private sales, restored examples attract serious attention because nothing else from the period looks remotely similar. Originally, these motorhomes sold for prices that positioned them above many conventional campers of the era. Depending on equipment and year, prices reached levels equivalent to well over $100,000 in modern money when adjusted for inflation. In recent years, restored examples have achieved impressive auction results. Average market values today vary widely depending on originality and restoration quality, but properly restored units frequently command premium collector prices. And honestly, they deserve the praise. The Ultravan represented bold thinking during a period when most companies avoided risks. It combined aircraft concepts, lightweight engineering, futuristic styling, and practical road trip comfort decades ahead of many competitors. Even now, parked among modern RVs, it attracts crowds instantly. Owners told stories about strangers following them into gas stations just to ask what planet the vehicle came from. Some owners drove them across America for decades, creating family memories that survived longer than many celebrity marriages. So here we are, nearly 60 years later, still talking about this incredible aluminum road machine. It was rare, innovative, weird, expensive, beautiful, and unapologetically ambitious. In a world where many vehicles now look identical, the Ultravan reminds us that creativity once mattered more than focus group statistics. Sometimes engineering should be strange, sometimes designers should ignore boring rules, and sometimes a giant silver motorhome should resemble a grounded UFO simply because somebody had the courage to build it.